Okay, this is the video directions for force and motion, balance and unbalanced forces interactive. So we're going to go through this interactive. At the end, there's going to be a page that shows that you completed it, and that you need a screenshot. So first, I'm going to start by putting my name, press continue. Okay, so on this section, we're going to read all these things, and then we're going to answer questions. So a force is a push or pull. In diagrams, forces are often shown with arrows. These are some arrows, so 10 newtons going to the right, 3 newtons going to the left, and the net force is going to be 7 newtons going to the right because we would subtract these two. All forces have magnitude and direction. Magnitude is size, like the size of the arrow, the 10 newtons, and direction showing which way it's moving. The metric unit for force is newtons. That's just the units we use. So notice all these have newtons or N. The net force of an object is the sum of the forces acting on the object. So we add or subtract depending if they're going the same direction, you would add. If they're going in opposite direction, you subtract. All right, so what we're going to have now is a series of questions that are all based on all of these boxes up here. So what is a force? Again, that was up here. Okay, so then the next question, which of the following describes a force? That should be following. So a cart moving 3 meters per second, your hand pushing a grocery cart with a vase contains 1 liter of water. So for these options, we need to know the units of force, which were this box right here. And we probably need to know the definition of force, which is over here, because this is more of an example. All right, last question I'll go over with you guys in this section. What 2 properties do all forces possess? That was exactly one of these boxes up here, so go find the right answer. All right, now I'm going to skip ahead to the next section, so make sure you answer these questions correctly or you have to go back and redo them. Okay, so this is the part that I really made the video directions for. Here we have a sim, it's a little tug-of-war sim, and we are going to move these little guys and put them up here and like click. You always want to click all the boxes on the FET sim, so that's what this is. And then you can press go and see what happens. This little button is your refresh right here. So I would go ahead and begin because what it's going to give you is a scenario. And then you're going to want to move the people. So what is the net force of 4 people on one side pulling the cart and no people on the other side? So again, always click all the boxes. It said 4 people on one side. I'm just going to grab the red. You could easily do the blue instead. I'm going to put all my little men on this side. I'm going to press go. And it asked for what is the net force? And so that is going to be what these arrows are showing us, that net force. All right. Okay, so notice I went on to the next question, but my stuff is still set up from the last one. So press the little refresh button, click all your buttons. This time we have a stopped cart and we want all 8 people pulling. So you're going to drag these 4 up here. You're going to drag these 4 up here. You're going to press go and see what happens. The next question is the same thing. Leave your people there. And now what's the number that appeared here when you had all the arrows? Okay, so how many small people pull with a net force of 50 each are required to balance a person with the opposite side with a force of 100? All right. Sounds a little confusing, but we're going to grab 2 people that do 50. So notice if I grab the little, it shows me what they do. So 50. Okay. Then I need to grab okay, so they pull 50. Those are my 2 little people. And I need to know how it will balance with somebody that pulls 100. Is that what this guy does? Let's see. This guy pulls 100. I want it to be equal. Do I grab 1 of the little guys or do I grab 2 of the little guys or 3? But I don't think there is 3, so. Okay, so then for this one, we want to grab 2 small people and pull one direction, pull to the left. So that means I want to grab the two little people over here to pull to the left. And then I want one adult that pulls the cart with a force of 150. That's the big guy. So grab this guy, put him up here, and see what happens. All right, so notice I answered my 5 questions correct. I get to move on. If you answered any of them wrong, you have to go back and redo those, and it won't tell you which ones you did wrong. Okay, I'm in the next set of questions. What happens to the motion of a stopped cart when an unbalanced force acts on it? So unbalanced would mean that they're not equal. So like grab a big guy and then maybe grab a small guy, but as long as they're not the same size on each side of the cart, and see what happens. We also want to pay attention to the speed. Is it going at the same speed or is it accelerating where it's speeding up? So let me just give you an example, and I'm going to grab my speed. I want to see when I pull, does it like just kind of end up at 1 or does it move up? So what's it doing right there? Now notice, is it still moving up or did it just kind of stop at the same speed? Okay, so now we want to grab what happens to the motion of a stopped cart when it's balanced, equal but opposite directions. So grab like a small person on one side, small on the other, or big, whatever you want to do to get equal on both sides. Okay, so select an option that would cause a stopped cart to move to the left. So we would want it to go towards the blue people. What can you do? So look at these, right? And see if you need, you might know the answer already, or you might need to go test it. Get it to go left with 100, right with 0. That'd be putting no people on that side. Left pull with 200, right pull with 350, left with 50, right with 50. Which one would cause it to go to the left towards the blue people? All right, so this question is similar but opposite to the last question. Select the option that would result in the stopped card not moving. So what would make it not move? So look at your options. Which one would make it not move? If you need a test, go test. All right, same options again, but which one would cause it to move to the right? So this time we'd want it to go towards the red people. What would make it go towards the red people? Okay, this is super important because if you don't do this, you're not getting points for today. When you get to this screen where it says great work with your name, you got all the questions correct, you need to take a screenshot. So on your Chromebook, it's the control button and the window button, the button above the 6. Make sure you, and then you're going to upload that on to Google Classroom.